Correct. So I will promise you that I'll leave you much more confused at the end of my talk than you are at right now. It's not about, I'm not telling you what human rights is. I have a lot of doubts. I should have been speaking from that side. But unfortunately, because of this post, I have to come here and speak otherwise. So first of all, I'll show my gratitude to all the dignitaries present here and the future generation here. Now, my first question which is there is, what are we celebrating today? So we are celebrating the International Human Rights Day. What does that mean? What exactly do we celebrate? Do we celebrate that the human rights were given to us today? Then what are we celebrating? Because human rights, the basis is found in something called Magna Carta in England, where there were certain rights for humans was promised. So if it was promised in 12th or 13th century, why are we celebrating the 10th December or 1948 as the landmark? So this is my first question. My next question is the basic understanding of human rights. So all these questions emerged when I was listening to the speakers. I was just writing it down. So the first question is, most of the people when they saw that Afzal Guru has been found out, has been captured, for 6 years we were after this thing that this person should be killed, this person should be killed, this person should be killed. But the basic outline of all the human rights lectures which I have heard today is right to life. So one point we are saying on Human Rights Day that no, right to life is sacrosanct. On other hand side, we want to hang Afzal Guru. That is the question. Next question is, somebody was talking about marriage. Now my question is, when you say about human rights, that means every human has the right to decide. Why 18 has the right as the minimum age? Why one person can marry only one person? If it is my right, why can't I decide? Next, my question is, there was another thing which was talked about, is that tribal development is an issue which is there. So when you know that Northeast, Nehru when he came to power, he had a very specific question. It's called a Panchasheel for Northeast, that the tribals will not be disturbed in their development. So I remember when I had interacted with few tribals, they do not want road, they do not want toilet. They said, we are happy like this. Our human rights, we should decide what are our human rights. Who are you to decide? I do not want a mobile. So today, on one side we say education and mobile is a human right, internet is a human right. On other side, there is a population who does not want it. So, how do we come to this? Another question which is there, one of the speakers said human rights in the context of India. These are questions, if you know the answer, you can talk. Otherwise, just let me ask my question to people presently. My next question is, when you talk about human rights in context of India, how can there be a context to human rights? Human rights are human rights. So if today as a human, I am in India, I have different rights, when I move out, I remain human, I hope so. Do my rights change? No, they are human rights. Third is the priority. There is one speaker who is talking about child labor. So my question is, there is some right known as right to life, and another one of the rights recognized under ICCPR, I think, is that every child should get a proper environment for his development, including education and everything. Today in a family, so if you are not interested, I can just finish it. It is very clear, we have come out with a schedule. If you are not interested, I can finish it off. We are asking a few important questions. If you know the answer, you can speak. You please. Please stand up. This person in black and white. After right, this person. Please stand up. Stand up. I have a question. You answer because you're talking. I think you know. My question is, right to, there is a right called right that a child should be given a proper environment for his development, including education and everything else. Now there is a family in which there is a mother who is bedridden, father is dead, and there is only one child who is 12 years old. Now he is working in a factory. Right to life versus right to overall development. If you know, you can speak. If you don't, sit down for 5 minutes and speak. And it applies for everyone. We're giving you our time, make the most of it. We We have other important engagements as well. Another thing is this example which was talked about selling the child. So my question is to the speakers, that these questions are all to the speakers over there because I wanted to sit there and ask. Is there, when there is a family of 4 dying and if you sell the child, those 4 people can be saved. You're selling the child, not killing the child. What should be given a higher priority? Keeping the child with the mother, selling that child, saving 4 lives. So now the problem with human rights, the biggest problem with human rights is first enforcement and second is understanding. Nobody understands what is human rights. Human rights vary from understanding to understanding. So those of you who will pursue law in further there are 2 things. One is called natural rights and second is called positive rights. Your fundamental rights are positive rights which are given by the state. Human rights are those which are given by the nature. The problem with the rights which are given by the nature cannot speak or hold back. That is the problem. So that is the confusion with human rights. My questions which are there, it's just a thought-provoking thing for you. You can go through all these things when there is a conflict between human rights, can you prioritize them? No, who cannot? Because every person will prioritize differently. For one person, marks are important than sports. Other person, sport is more important. That is the problem where everywhere you go, there is a difference between the rights which are provided. I have very limited understanding as compared to the honorable dignity sitting here. But I'll suggest you, if you can, read the judgment by Justice Khanna, ADM Jabalpur. There were 5 judges. One person was Justice Khanna. Read his judgment. This is by far the best judgment or the best commentary ever given on human rights. He said, the Constitution does not provide human rights. There are certain rights which are recognized by the Constitution. Those are called fundamental rights. It does not matter. So if you have a provision in the Constitution to supersede human rights, I do not accept the Constitution. So he was this bold. He has been going around, later became the law minister also. So my point is, whenever you sit in here, do not just listen to the people who are saying. These all questions come up from all these lectures. And the last request is there, whenever somebody is coming here, whether you've been called here by your own free will or forced to be here, you need to respect the person sitting here. That is also my human right. Alright, so when I am speaking, you have to listen. You cannot disturb me. You are not bound to listen. But if you are sitting here, you cannot